nomadic people. They lived in the steppes of Central Asia. The steppe is a vast grassland. It stretches across Mongolia and into parts of modern-day Russia and China. The Mongols lived in portable tents called yurts. They moved around with their herds of horses, sheep, and goats. Life was harsh on the steppe. The Mongols were skilled warriors and horsemen. They were also fierce rivals. Different Mongol tribes constantly fought each other for control of the best pastures and resources. The Mongols were organized into clans and tribes. These groups were loosely connected. They often raided each other and fought for dominance. There was no single ruler or government that united all the Mongols. This made them vulnerable to attack from outsiders. Powerful empires like the Chinese to the south and the Khwarezmian dynasty to the west saw the Mongols as a threat. Despite their internal divisions, the Mongols were a resilient and adaptable people. They were skilled hunters and warriors. They learned to survive in one of the harshest environments on Earth. The Mongols also developed a strong sense of loyalty to their tribe and family. This loyalty would be essential to their success under the leadership of Genghis Khan. Genghis Khan, originally named Temujin, was born into a time of great turmoil and conflict among the Mongols. His father, a tribal leader, was poisoned by a rival clan when Temujin was very young. This left the young Temujin and his family to fend for themselves in a brutal and unforgiving world. Despite a difficult childhood marked by hardship and betrayal, Temujin displayed extraordinary courage, cunning, and leadership. He gradually united the Mongol tribes through a combination of diplomacy and military skill. He defeated his rivals one by one. He brought them under his control. He forged a powerful new Mongol confederation. In 1206, at a gathering known as the Kurultai, Temujin was proclaimed Genghis Khan, meaning Oceanic ruler or Great Khan of all the Mongols. This marked a turning point in Mongol history. It set the stage for their unprecedented conquests. Genghis Khan's vision extended far beyond the steppes of Mongolia. He dreamed of creating a vast empire that would stretch across Asia. Genghis Khan introduced a new legal code called the Yasa. This helped to unify the Mongols and bring order to their society. The Yasa emphasized loyalty, obedience, and meritocracy. It established a system of rewards for those who served Genghis Khan loyally. It also outlined punishments for betrayal and cowardice. This code of law, though harsh, would form the foundation of Mongol governance for generations. With the Mongol tribes united under his banner, Genghis Khan launched a series of military campaigns that would shock and awe the world. The Mongol army was renowned for its speed, discipline, and archery skills. Mongol warriors were expert horsemen who could cover vast distances rapidly. They were also deadly accurate with their bows and arrows. They could hit targets while riding at full gallop. The Mongol conquests began with their neighbors. They subdued the Tangut people of the Xia kingdom. They conquered the powerful Jin dynasty of northern China. Genghis Khan then turned his attention westward. He led his armies against the Khwarezmian Empire, which encompassed Persia and parts of Central Asia. The Mongols were ruthless in their conquests. They often completely destroyed cities that resisted them. They massacred entire populations. However, they also showed a surprising degree of tolerance towards those who submitted to their rule. Genghis Khan understood that in order to maintain his vast empire, he needed the cooperation of the conquered peoples. The Mongol military tactics were sophisticated and adaptable. They employed psychological warfare. They used terror as a weapon to demoralize their enemies before a battle even began. They were quick to adopt new technologies and strategies from the cultures they encountered. This adaptability contributed to their stunning success on the battlefield. At its peak, the Mongol Empire stretched from the Pacific Ocean in the east to the Mediterranean Sea in the west. It encompassed a vast swathe of territory, including all of modern-day Mongolia, China, Korea, Central Asia, Iran, Iraq, Afghanistan, and parts of Russia, Ukraine, and Eastern Europe. This made it the largest contiguous land empire in human history. The Mongols' rapid expansion was fueled by their military prowess, but it was also aided by internal conflicts and weaknesses within the empires they targeted. For example, The Jin dynasty in China was already weakened by internal strife and economic problems before the Mongols arrived. This made them more vulnerable to Mongol attacks. The Mongols were remarkably tolerant rulers in many ways, especially compared to their contemporaries. They generally allowed religious freedom in their conquered territories. This was a stark contrast to the often violent religious intolerance of the time. This tolerance was a pragmatic decision. It ensured the loyalty and cooperation of their diverse subjects. However, this tolerance had limits. Open rebellion or defiance of Mongol authority was met with swift and brutal retribution.